Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another deck profile brought to you by Double Sleeved. Today, we're joined by Tyson, who's no stranger to the channel, with some countless tops in Dragon Ball. We present one more. Tyson, how you doing?
Good, thank you, Ryan. Yourself?
Yeah, pretty good. I see you've got Shenron there, and we've obviously just wrapped up an online regional. Why don't you tell us how you went?
So I ended up going X2 at the regionals with nothing less than Sin, unfortunately. I hate this deck. But yeah, versed a few decks. Had a few losses to some reasons, which I will go into. I'm not going to talk about the matchups overall because they're pretty much the same sort of matchups. It's blue, it's yellow, it's red.
Yeah, we've seen
Um,
so many of these decks for the last couple of months. Yeah, let's just jump into the deck profile and see if you've got anything different than any of the other Sin Shenron lists that we've seen over the last what feels like 3 years.
We'll see. So obviously you got the Sin Shenron leader. We know what it does. You get 6 balls, you awaken, you search them every turn. Um, you draw a card, you neg something 15k. It's the simple leader. Does simple
Mhm.
things. Z deck, obviously your standard Z leader, which is double strike 20k and next one 20k. You know, play a Sin on Omega. Sorry, why not? You got your
Mhm.
cheeky rush stack Vegetas. They're very cool, good cards. Never played a single one in the day.
Interesting. Yeah, all right.
Yeah, didn't play a
Didn't
single
didn't
one.
come up.
No.
Yeah.
I got the Goku. Again, didn't play it at all. There was times like I could play it. I'm like, nah, I won't play it. And it's a 6 card Z deck. If you want to know why, I could not be bothered finding a one cost Vegeta. That's all it
did
was.
did it ever come up where you needed the self awakening Vegeta?
I was like, oh, maybe I could have a self awakening Vegeta and I could awaken next turn. Or Z awaken next turn, but it didn't matter. Like every time I wanted one, I won anyway. So
Yeah. Yeah.
gets into the main deck. You got the Vegeta SCR. We know what it does. You pay 4, you
Mhm.
burn a life. You don't really do anything else for it with it. Funnily enough, I never burnt a life with it for game. I actually had to play it every single time when they're on 2 life to clear a board, and me clearing the board won me the game. So never got to burn anyone for the game, which sucked. Your basic 4/8 costs the Megas. They're just a crazy card. They don't deserve to be around. And if this deck's still alive when the new Shenron SCR comes out, I yeah no.
It'll be interesting, as we start getting more Z leaders as well, because that card's just relevant in any red deck with a Z leader.
Oh yeah, it's just the card's busted. You know, you want to play the Akos Gogeta in any deck? Sure, no worries. I'll play Shenron. Great design, Bandai. Next 4 cards, obviously the Dread Destroyer. Card's busted. Tap 1, draw a card, so it replaces itself. It shouldn't. And it's a double strike that kills something in next 20 counter card. It can be a unison, it can be a battle card. Why not? It's cool, I guess. I hate this card. I hate this deck. I only played it because it's the only deck I had sleeved up. Um, Moving to the promos, so the new busted Gohan promo, because you can play that turn 1 for some reason. Oh, I've got 3 balls in my Z energy. Oh, crazy. I'll now neg your play turn 1. You can't awaken Starter Vegeta. Too bad. It's a cracked promo. Um, Obviously, it has double strike and blocker. Thankfully, unique, so you can't play multiples. But it's still just a crazy card, and when you play it, you neg 20k on a card as well.
Yeah, it's obviously this deck and Gogeta that put that promo over the top. So depending on what kind of happens with ban lists coming up, will determine whether that card's still kind of relevant in the next couple of sets.
Exactly. Next couple cards, you have 3 of the Sin Shenron Negative Energy Animus. I am only running 3 of each because I don't want 4 of each. I think 4 of each is too clunky. This being only unique. If it wasn't unique, I'd run 4. This
Mm.
also just having the blocker effect. It's only to self awaken, and you're only going to ever usually 1 per turn. It's not a 4 of, I don't think. But
Yeah.
if you don't know what it does, because this is a relatively new promo, it's got blocker. When you attack or when you block, you can KO a Shadow Dragon. You can neg something 15k on the field, and then it also um, restands it into the turn because why not? So you can swing with it and then restand it. So if you want, you can go play a Nova, swing Nova, play this, swing this, kill Nova, bring Nova back and draw a card, and then you can also bring Nova back on your opponent's turn to draw a card with this card. It's really cool.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah.
Obviously, it also costs you 1 to play it, and you will take a life if you'd like to. So it's your Self Awakener, get you to your Z Awaken. 2 Rage, good card. That's all I can say. It's good card. Free negates. It's like a token blocker, but you don't take a life. Next up, you got the Yamcha. We all know what Yamcha does. Net 15 on 2 cards. It's just there because some decks are, die to Yamcha, and it does work. But I think honestly, it's you don't even need to run it anymore, because even if it was at 4, I probably wouldn't run it at 4.
Hmm.
Next cards, you got your super combos. People aren't running Raditz anymore. I just couldn't be bothered finding the androids or the Beerus's, so I just decided to run Raditz. Like, I have them. They're in pre-release. Like, why not? I'll flex with my pre-release cards.
Still a great super combo as well if you are able to get down to that 4 life. So it does make sense to still run it.
It definitely is, and that's how I won my last game against Kumba. I was at 3 life, so I just swung. He didn't negate. I'm like, I bet. So I Z-Awaken. I do 4 super combos, go to 120k double strike, and then I burn him for game. It was the only game I burned someone, and he's just like, oh, cool, should negate it.
Yeah.
Obviously, you got your Novas. You pay 1. That's it. You play it 15k, and then you kill it, and then bring it back and draw a card if your opponent has 2 or more energy. Very good card, and being 15k, pretty good. Just don't play it against blue because Alberis destroys it. Obviously, you got your 4 Oceanuses. Oceanus just searches your balls, gives you barrier on one of your cards. I've never used it. I just don't see the point in it because everything has barrier removal. Then it's a 5k combo. People will disagree, but I run 3 Naturon. No reason for it. I just don't have a 4th. It's just as simple as that.
I think we kind of did see this card come back into play once Haze kind of got banned and you needed a bit more consistency within the deck.
I used to actually always run 4. I've just lost my 4th. I've always liked the card a lot. I just think being able to search your pieces is really good, and I'm also just a really greedy player. That's all it is. I still play Trunks Deluge. I like Deluge. It won me a lot of games because it helped me push for early game. Having the 4-cost Sin and then Deluge in hand is huge. I've done this twice
definitely.
in a row, and you go 30k double strike on your opponent's unawakened leader. They're going to combo their whole hand? Probably not. They're going to take 2 life.
Yeah, all the Deluge cards are so powerful for what they do.
I think they're genuinely busted, and they should go. they're very strong. You got 4 Gogeta Unisons. Now, people, for some reason, thought I relied on the Unisons. I actually play the Unisons for turn 2, just to play a free card and get a ball, and that's really it. And after that, it's just there's bait, because everyone swings into it. I'm like, okay, I'm at 4 markers, you can't neg my Unison. Sweet, keep swinging into it. I'll stay at 7 life for the entire game. Someone swung into this, only this, for a whole game. I was at like 6 or 7 life when I won.
Yeah, it's something you need to keep in check, but obviously, it just absorbs so many attacks being a +2 Unison.
It does, and everyone's reasoning was, oh, my locals, they play this deck and they rely on the Unison. Like, well, if you're relying on the Unison, why are you playing Sin? Just play Gogeta.
Yeah.
3 testing the opposition, card's good, nothing more to say about it. Free negate, token, or a 5k combo. You got your 2 Wolfang Fists, they're just there for stuff like red, they play Rush Stack Vegeta, you neg it. You can neg a card with barrier that is oppressive, or just anything that you really need to get rid of. After image, you don't need them, but I needed to have something else in there as like a pseudo negate, just so I can sort of stay alive if I need to.
Or just take a life if you.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Also that. Your 2 Dragon Thunders, they're just there to gain 5k. That's all it is. I don't really care for Dragon Thunders. I just have them in there because they're useful.
Yeah, and when you combine that with a 20k Z leader, it's pretty nuts too.
Exactly. And you'll all be shocked, but I actually run 6 Dragon Balls. I know, not 5. 5 is the correct number, I know, but I'm greedy and I play 6. It just draws you a card and goes to the energy, because why not? I think this is busted. I think you should maybe limit this to 2 per turn.
Yeah, I think that would probably kill the deck, but Sin Shenron's definitely been one of the strongest kind of wish leaders that we've seen. I know there's been a lot of iterations in the past, but yeah, it's been around for so long. It's just people are obviously aware of how strong it is.
Yeah.
And this was a best of 1 pre-side event.
Yeah,
but
obviously
I understand
pre-side.
you didn't take a pre-side. You didn't take a side to this.
Yeah, we aren't playing Zenkai Cup. I didn't have a side deck. Do you want to know why? I didn't care to build one. I didn't want to build one. I just thought, you know what? The morning of, I actually woke up at about 11:30, half hour before the event, and I'm like, I don't want to play. I'll play anyway. So I built Sin, and I'm like, need a side deck? Nah, it's Sin Shenron, I don't need a side deck. So,
Yeah, the deck's so aggressive that you focus more on just trying to deal damage to your opponent as opposed to trying to stop their plays. You force them to have an answer, but it took you all the way to 8th place. Is that right?
yeah, 8th place. I don't know how. I was watching the standings. I'm like, I'll probably get 12th. 12th is all right. I'm happy. And then I looked at the end. I'm like, oh wow, eighth place. That's serial Goku. Let's go. Why he's sick? Why not?
Hmm.
But it does just go to show how strong the deck is. And the only thing I think you should ever really side in Sin Shenron is just Floodgate hate, because when you get Floodgated 9 turns in a row, it's not very cool.
Yeah, especially as we're seeing Gamma and these kind of yellow Golden Freezer Trunks Margin Vegeta decks kind of come into play. There is a lot of floodgates running around at the moment that can slow down Sin, but you've come in, you built the deck the morning of, you've shown how oppressive Sin Shenron can be, and we'll see in the next kind of couple of weeks whether it sticks around for another kind of set. But thanks for jumping in and showing us the deck and showing us that you can take it to 8th place with no sideboard and a 6-card Z deck. But as always, thanks to anyone that watches as well. Be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next deck profile.